Good morning.
The system had itself a good day. Mr. Lucky to be here. Just, Mr. Happenstance just happened to have another 4-touchdown afternoon, his third of the season. And Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel lead the Niners to a rousing victory over the Arizona Cardinals. Swept again.
Yes, Brock Purdy for the second time in 3 weeks, 4 touchdowns, no picks. He was pretty good and used all of his weapons. The Niners ran for over 5 yards a carry. They got all their weapons involved. McCaffrey had another incredible day. Kittle was heavily involved against Budda Baker, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. It was a good all-around performance. They didn't stop the run like we wanted to see them stop the run. Trey McBride definitely had a good day, catching 10 of 11 balls, but the Niner defense, they gave up 30 roughly, but they still found a way to win and cover. So good win. No Armstead, no Hargrave. 49ers played with 7 rookies. They had 7 rookies in uniform. So, it was not a great start for the Niner defense. They definitely missed some tackles, but man, Brock Purdy and the Niner offense is cooking right now. And guys were just wide open. Deebo, wide open. CMC, wide open. So wide open that you could throw him a pass. He could land on the ground and get back up and start running. And
I think he checked his Twitter account. I think he was on Instagram posting some vacation photos by the time he had enough time to get up and run into the end zone. I mean, that is ridiculously wide open when you can fall down, be flat on your chest, have professional athletes at full sprint looking to just come and touch you, and you have time to, again, catch a tan before you actually get up and go into the end zone. It was extraordinary. One of the dumber things that I saw is, the always Brock Purdy discourse continues. One of the dumber things I saw, Larry, was someone say, well, the reason why he's not going to be MVP is because all of his receivers are wide open. What do you think the point of this all is, folks? Do you think that there's any coach out there looking to dial up degree of difficulty for his quarterback? No, a coach's job is to make it easier. A good offense's job is to separate. And that's what happens time and time again. And I'm going to tell you, Larry, this past weekend, I saw some highlights of Tiger Woods and his son Charlie walking around. And I always think that one of Tiger's greatest gifts to just all of sports is the phrase A game. He used to talk about, well, I can come out here and I can even win without my A game. I would suggest the 49ers won going away pretty much yesterday without their A game. On a day Fred Warner still led the game in tackles, I'm going to tell you Fred Warner didn't even have a particularly good game. One of the jarring statistics is allowing 234 rushing yards. Well, that's what the Cardinals do. It's kind of their DNA. They have a very good run blocking offensive line. And without Hargrave or Armstead, you can see how important those two guys are to the formula, to the system, if you will. And their absence was felt yesterday. They need to get back for any big or consequential game for sure. But it was still an afternoon where the offense did whatever it wanted to do and did so, Larry, in the kind of chunk plays that you normally only get in an afternoon of playing Madden. NFL games normally don't see 6, 7 plays that go, between 15 and 50 yards. Normally it's a battle of inches all around and 7, 8 yards here, 7, 8 yards there. And those will kind of be your big plays of a drive or a down or something like that. Not the Niners. The Niners are hitting big plays all over the football field, and they're doing it in the air, and McCaffrey's doing it with his legs.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing not to like on the offense. The O-line, opened run lanes. They kept Brock upright. He was pretty much untouched. And then, Brock, whether he's the better MVP candidate or, as he says, CMC's the better MVP candidate, Brock was an incredible performance. I mean, the Niners needed their offense to carry them in that game. They had no Armstead. They had no Hargrave. Arizona was going to be able to put up points, and Purdy just kept delivering all day. Never committed a turnover, never fumbled, never took a sack, 4 touchdown passes. There wasn't a lot of adversity for the offense. McCaffrey was handed the ball 18 times. He averaged 6.4 carry. I mean, he was absolutely incredible. The O-line opened run lanes for him all day. He was good after contact. Caught all 5 of his targets. I thought Jordan Mason looked really, really lively when he came in. He had a nice 17-yard run, and then Debo, Ayuk, and Jennings combined for 110 yards receiving on nine receptions, 14 targets. They came up big when they needed to. So, yeah, the Niner offense carried the day, and then Mooney, Ward, and the secondary did just enough to make it stand up.
When I saw the list of guys who weren't playing, I saw that Javarius Ward was, and I put an exclamation point next to that, and he certainly put an exclamation point on this game a couple of times. His first 2 interception game of his career, the first pick 6 of his career. And when you look at the gauntlet of receivers that he's basically been shutting down, beginning after the bye week with Christian Kirk, we've seen DK Metcalf, we've seen AJ Brown now on this list of guys that he shut down. He shut down Mike Evans a few times. He had a really nice play, maybe the only good play, defensive player of the afternoon against the Bengals, where he had a great play against Jamar Chase. This guy has been checking A-plus wide receivers for weeks on end now, and he's done so in a way where he's getting better. I mean, he's just playing some outstanding football. There was a lot of Pro Bowl buzz for him in that broadcast yesterday, and I think he's certainly worthy. And if we really had to stack up defensive MVPs, I mean, it's a conversation between Fred Warner and Nick Bosa. But Javarius Ward has done as much as any player on that defense possible, Larry, to insert himself into the who might have had the best year on this defense.
He's playing great. And sometimes those groin injuries can be nagging, and it was good to see him, just get out there and play full tilt. I mean, the first pick on the pick 6, it's 4th and 3. Kyler's trying to throw it in, force it into the tight end, McBride, in a crowd. He clearly got a nice deep drop, read Kyler's eyes, and got like 3-4 steps of a break on that ball, and just never broke stride. Took it to the house, and they really didn't look back from there. That was a incredible play. So, yeah, I mean, Charvarius is a big corner. They're going to need him this week against Rashad Bateman. They're going to probably need him, against AJ Brown and CeeDee Lamb in the playoffs. And he's, is he a true number 1? Is he a number 2? Who knows? But he's a damn good corner with size, and it's good to see. It's good to see, and it's not just him. To me, if you said what's the big turnaround to the Niner defense since the bye week, it's the play of the 3 corners. It's Mooney, it's Lenore, who had 9 tackles, 8 solo yesterday, and it's Ambry Thomas. Those 3 guys have given them 3 corners that can really hug up tight on receivers, and you're starting to see the Niners get coverage sacks.